The King of the Dead took everything we had. Our homes, our families, our entire way of life. Those of us that survived, we did our best to rebuild, to start something new, to become our own people. The war had gone on so long, there really wasn't anywhere else for us to go. So we settled down. We built Doomendor. We found ancient technologies. We found people that were willing to help. And that was only the spring. Things were looking like they were going to turn around for the better. And then summer came. We weren't prepared for what was coming.
Currently, we have in abundance power thanks to the big magical crystals that we discovered are just a massive, condensed magic.
I don't like this. This can only end poorly.
We have an abundance of smoked meats thanks to Lee's efforts to do food preservation.
Well done.
We have we have an abundance of wood thanks to the woods.
Wow, thanks, Woods. You worked very hard for that.
And we
just
have
closing this curtain, Pete.
And we have an abundance of feral pigs.
Oh yeah.
30 to 40
Wait, when did we
feral
get
hogs.
that?
That was Lee deciding that feral pigs lived in the woods.
Okay.
There's just a population of feral hogs.
And we do still have a
Hey.
we do still have a potential scarcity of drinking water. If you guys think that is still true, we can remove that from the scarcity list if you think that we've figured out a clean drinking water solution.
I mean, we have running water from the river.
But is that clean?
Maybe
It's connected from the ocean.
We can always start a project to dig a well.
Yeah.
If we so desire. I think that would probably be a good idea.
Doesn't take
that's
long.
too much. That is too much discussion for this game. We must show restraint.
Our
restraint?
Community is pooping so gosh dang much. Everybody has, what is it called?
Dysentery.
Dysentery.
Oh my god.
Oh man, I should be wearing my Oregon Trail shirt.
There's currently a project going to develop the farmlands. It has 3 weeks left.
Oh, I forgot I was gonna... forgot I set that up. That's wild.
Yeah. Doing farming.
Alright, so... now begins summer. So I need to only draw diamonds now.
What you got for me?
Alright, give me just a moment. So, you have drawn the 9 of diamonds.
Ooh. What does that do?
A project fails. Which one? Why?
Oh, shit.
Or something goes foul and supplies are ruined. Add a new scarcity.
Ooh.
Shit. Right at the beginning of summer.
Yeah. Summer is when stuff starts to get a little bit real.
Forest fire.
So we have a scarcity of wood?
Would that make sense? I mean, a forest fire wouldn't burn down the entire forest unless it was a horribly destructive forest fire.
I mean, if that's the scarcity that you want to add on there, you can also... You don't have to take something that's already on the list. You can make up a new scarcity.
Oh, just make something up. Okay. Breathable air. No.
I mean, we can always say that the water is infected with dysentery.
Oh no!
It's
We already don't have drinking water.
Yeah.
We just don't have like clean water in general.
Oh god. Shit. I don't fucking know, y'all. Okay. Which one did I get? Let me just read it again.
9 of diamonds.
9 of diamonds. Okay. Project fails. Which one or why? What projects do we have going right now? It's just the farm.
Develop
right?
farmlands.
That'd be bad.
That would be bad. That feels the most dramatic, though.
You also have to come up with...
The soil is ruined. Something's wrong with it. It just nothing is taking. Like we cleared out space, started sowing seeds, and like things were growing, but it was not what we planted.
Okay.
And it was not edible.
Ooh.
All right, so the farmlands project fails.
Fuck.
Ooh.
Well, we got meat, so that kind of helps
Plenty of
clog up our
hogs.
dysentery.
My God,
No
with the
fiber for
dysentery.
miles.
We have
Oh.
an abundance of dysentery.
Now we're
All
abundance
roads
of
lead to dysentery.
constipation and dysentery.
So, Mike, you now get to discover something new, hold a discussion, or start a project.
Let's start building that well.
Yeah.
If we can't get food that isn't just raw meat, at least we can get drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How long do you
Well-
think that one's going to take?
Digging a well.
Don't look it up, just intuit.
It only takes
I
like
think
a
it would
week
be
or
that
two.
long.
If you've
So,
got
yeah.
enough people working on it, a week.
Well, I
This
mean, the
dysentery
farm
is, like,
project is
motivating people.
the farm project is debunked, so I would say it's pretty easy to get people working on it. I'd say a week.
You mean defunct?
What'd I say?
Debunked.
Oh, the other thing.
There was, unless there was a conspiracy surrounding the farm project.
Who knows? Maybe there.
What if there was?
Y'all are both just the same
Dun,
dumbass.
dun, dun.
We have one
man,
brain
we
cell
have
between
to-
us.
It's the old man, I just know it.
It's just whoever is DMing that night gets the brain cell.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
The old man. Oh no.
All right, so that now brings us to Lee
Yee. Draw a card for me.
doing
Peace. Okay. There is now a group of humans who are followers of the person who was of the traitor. And yeah. So they're cultists.
Necromantic
Okay.
cultists. Oh great.
it. Okay, so I assume that is why they are a threat.
Yes.
And how are they vulnerable?
They don't know where he is.
So they are
So-
basically like lost sheep.
Yes.
All right. Would you like to draw something on the map to represent this new faction of people and where they're hiding out? Because I assume they're not exactly operating out in the open.
Mm-mm. They wouldn't be. Feel like they
Given-
would be probably halfway between the goblin camp and the
The spooky castle.
yes.
Spooky Carrie Castle.
I'm working on it.
No problem.
How do I represent cultists?
You can make up
Probably
a
a
symbol
cross.
that they kind of use. Because currently the trader, any of them have no iconography, so you could develop that. You could be the one.
What are you drawing? I have to zoom in.
Yeah, same.
Yes, I was going to write MAGA, but I'm not going to actually do that.
Especially because
No.
words aren't allowed.
That's not a word, it's an acronym.
Damn, they've got you there.
How do I delete that?
Are you
Oh,
on a
they're right
new
by the
layer?
Yodas?
You can just press the delete key.
I don't know if I'm on a new layer. CEO entrepreneur.
Anyway.
Born in 1964. Jeffrey.
Okay, so what is this symbol that you are drawing?
It should hopefully be recognizable in just a moment.
Okay.
Jeffrey Bezos.
Is that two people high-fiving in front of a balloon?
It's supposed to be praying hands in front of a skull.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
Ooh, fun.
That's
I like
spooky.
it.
And we're going to give it angry attack eyebrows.
I'm going to have to add that to the pantheon then, because that's going to bring up some interesting hero quote unquote worship.
Building some
Okay.
lore here while singing about Jeffrey Bezos.
Just happens to be stuck in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Lee, you now get to actually the well is dug.
Oh, shit.
Mike, if you want to go ahead and put that on the map, it's done. Set
Well!
it to a week. It's done.
Cool.
Hmm.
You can go ahead and draw a well.
Well.
Gates and Buffett, all the guys.
So that takes away the scarcity of drinking water.
Just make it like a gray stone well. There we go.
Is there anything special about the well?
When they actually finished it, they finished it surprisingly early. Like they were going to dig a lot farther down. But it's really lucky that they were using harnesses because it just opened up into an underground cavern with clean running water in it.
All right.
Hmm.
Fun.
That's nice to have in our back pocket.
Yeah, I thought that'd be fun.
So Lee, you now get to discover something new, start a project, or hold a discussion.
Oh, Peter yawned. Did you hear it? Was that audible?
But just seeing Petey like through the veil was like, oh my god. Survived.
Beyond the veil.
I speak to you.
So, what are you thinking, Lee?
All right. I think that they discover a rare breed of pupfish in the that's even too niche of a joke for me.
Yeah,
So there is this canyon. I think it's called like the Devil's something or other.
Oh, this fucking thing.
And back in like the 80s, when they found like this rare breed of pupfish, it's just like messing with the crack and diving in it fucks with the pupfish, and there's only like 200 of them, and it just raised up all these issues of do we try and save the pupfish? I think I'd want them to discover something.
okay.
They find while they're digging for the well, testing different places, they find a native tuber to this area, and it's fantasy potatoes. And it's got lots of calories, and they start cooking that into their soup because
Give you heartburn like crazy, so you gotta take Prilosec.
They don't know why.
Consume Prilosec.
Consume Prilosec.
They don't know why these particular root vegetables grow when other things won't grow, but they grow, and no one's died yet. So,
Okay,
vegetable.
so what's the name of this fantasy potato? This extremely resilient root vegetable.
The Gamgee.
The Gamgee.
I knew you were gonna go there.
All right, so now we have I think that's safe to say that we have an abundance now of Gamgee.
Gamgees. Or is it just Gamgee plural?
Gamgee plural.
With 2 eyes.
Potato. Okay.
The weather is nice and people can feel the potential all around them. Start a new project.
Okay, you get to start
you
a new
can potentially
project.
start 2 projects this turn. That's rad.
Yeah, that is pretty rad.
Hi, Peter.
Thinking in terms of like the weather is actually quite nice is what this card is specifying, so maybe that can play into it somehow.
The weather's quite nice. I'm when I hear the weather's quite nice, I just imagine it like breezy and sunny. So I'm wondering if a project that they're going to attempt is remember last time we talked about how like the wind there was like a storm brewing
Over the mountains,
I-
yes.
over the mountains, right? So I'm wondering if this is kind of counterintuitive to like nice weather, but if they start building more of a like domed shelter around there, like they're trying to make it more of a fortress versus like just sporadic housing.
They're gonna build a wall and make the goblins pay for it.
No.
The goblins are our friends.
Sorry.
I made sure of that.
We're gonna have the cultists pay for it.
Cultists are pushing for it. Anyway. No, I'm not gonna follow that track. No, I'm imagining like kind of a greenhouse situation. Like so many people were talking about like, oh, our plants didn't succeed, and like, oh, we have to like prepare for like whatever weather is about it. So like everyone has kind of come to an agreement to make more of like less of a straw house, more of a brick house, but not brick. I'm actually imagining it made out of crystal. It's gonna take forever.
You got a giant bug.
True, I forgot about the bug. Maybe they want to disassemble the bug.
And use it to build like a dome, a protective dome.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maybe take the outer shelter up, like the outer structure of the bug to start building around their encampment.
But I thought the bug was our in case something happens we can run contingency plan.
It's also being used as like apartment style housing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can. Yeah, that was one of the things that I developed is that it's now parked there and there's enough space in it that they've been putting up like ramshackle walls and making like single family homes.
It's a Hooverville.
Okay. That's pretty nice. Okay, I don't want to like destroy that.
Sorry, I suggested that.
No, I don't know. I just wanted to like involve the sky somehow. Maybe they learn how to fly.
Someone starts developing a flying machine.
I mean,
Like, I
We're
don't know,
getting
like
more
gliders,
and more
maybe.
Ghibli as we go.
Shit, I'm okay
You know
with
exactly
that.
where my brain is going. I'm trying not to make Nausicaa, but like, man, they just get it.
Well, hold on. We have that strange device we found in the castle.
What?
Oh, true.
I never specified what it was.
Okay, so maybe like it's a collaborative effort of just trying to learn how to make like gliders. Gliders is what my mind goes to.
Okay, so you want to develop gliding. Are you going to try to involve this device that Mike mentioned?
Well, what was the device though?
We don't know.
We don't know.
It's literally just a thing that came from the spooky castle.
Yeah, it can be
Maybe
anything. It
what-
could be a jet engine. It can be a teleportation device. It could be a fucking microwave.
Maybe it's magnets. Like something magnetic.
Fucking magnets, how do they
you
work?
I mean, that's the thing. We don't know what it is. That could be the project.
Yeah, just figuring out what the device does and how can it help them With the goal eventually being like, oh, it helps them achieve some form of like airborneness.
Nope, you don't decide that now. You decide that when the project finishes.
Fine. Okay,
Too
that's
much
my goal.
discussion. All right. So how long do you think it's going to take them to study this strange device?
I think a while. I'm gonna give it 4 weeks.
All right.
Nice.
All right. So now that makes it my turn.
Oh wait, I didn't get to develop a project.
Oh,
for
that's right. You get to
Thanksgiving.
now also either discover something, hold a discussion, or start another project completely separate from the one you just started.
So we said
¿Por
that
qué no los dos?
So we said that cavern, the like drinking well we found leads into like some sort of cavern, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Can I say that like we've discovered like a network of tunnels there to explore?
Yes. Do you
Dope.
have a way that you might want to represent that on the map?
I think I'm gonna do like an opaque looking gray. Just kind of like
Okay.
draw squigglies. What's the well? The well is just that green dot, right? Or that
It's
dot
that
in the
gray
middle?
dot.
Yeah, the
Dot?
well is the
Okay.
gray dot. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna just.
What's next to the crystal symbol? Is that a gun?
Yes,
Yeah, it is a
they
gun.
determined that you could grind up the crystal and turn it into gunpowder.
Jesus Christ.
I think I'm just gonna represent it by having it like a gray outline. Just like how potentially wide it is.
Oh wow.
Okay. So it's
So
this
like we don't know the
massive, like,
extent of it.
it's this massive network of tunnels underneath the
The forest.
the forest and this settlement.
Wild.
Okay, I dig it.
That's so cool.
The unattended situation that has gone problematic and scary is that as much as we've been hunting and acquiring meat from a lot of the animals in the area, there's one that has somewhat eluded us. The goblins have helped with it, but has not been a perfect solution. The feral pigs have grown to be an invasive species. So they have now started to, like, actively terrorizing people.
Oh my god.
Good thing we have
Ooh.
guns for the 30 to 40 feral hogs.
God damn it.
It's just too easy. We're kind of just laying these jokes right out for me, and they're ripe for the picking, and they're low hanging fruit, and I am short. So like,
So yeah, these feral hogs have multiplied considerably, and it's now made it very difficult to come to this little bend in the lake where they've made their, like, most common home. So I'm just gonna represent that by... Oops, nope, wrong buttons. Heck, fuck.
So the opposite side of the river is basically super dangerous now.
Yeah, it's basically this whole, like, little bend has turned into just a... It is, like, highly populated by feral hogs now.
Interesting.
Ooh.
So it's made collecting what drinking water they can from this little easy bend a little bit more difficult.
Good thing we have the well now.
Alright, so that is that. The studying the trader's device project ticks down 1. And I get to do the things. So, one of the people who was digging the well, one of the people who was heading that up, swears up and down that he saw something underground.
Don't like that. Nope. Nope.
Ooh.
And so he starts he starts to gather a group of people in order to go and see what's what down there. To best case scenario, find a way into these caverns from the surface without having to spelunk their way down.
I like
Worst
the
case
word
scenario,
spelunk.
find whatever's down there. Okay, so that is that. We are back up to Mike.
Oh, the old man goes missing.
Which old man?
He went knick-knack on my shoe.
Mike.
The I think it was like, I can't remember what we said, the brother or something.
Relative. He was like a
Oh,
mentor.
The traitor.
The trader's mentor goes missing.
Okay.
Ooh,
And
okay.
all of his belongings are still in his like living area. He's just
And it's somehow related to... It's a bad omen in this case.
yeah. Bad
Where
omen.
it says predators and bad omens are afoot. You are careless, so there are ominous circumstances surrounding his disappearance.
Yeah, the ominous circumstances, I would say definitely there's a dark omen. The castle just on the horizon, only barely visible to those who know where to look. You can see a little bit of smoke rising from it. I would like to hold a discussion.
All right, now remember, you get to start this with either a question or a statement. If you start it with a statement, that's it. That's your only chance to speak in the discussion. If you start it with a question, you get to end the discussion. And remember, everybody, we're talking like 1 to 2 sentences, speaking kind of as an abstract of the community.
What were they called? The ravens? The crows?
The crows.
Yes, the crows. A group of them are, and some of the more superstitious of the older folk in the town believe that this mentor person was like they left to go defect to the cult.
Ooh, okay.
So is
Who
that
goes
starting
next?
with a statement?
Yes, that is the statement.
We think that... Could you sum that up in a
like
concise
as
statement?
sorry, I forgot. I didn't think as dialogue. Some of the older folk and the crows believe
You
that
don't have to
this...
establish characters.
Ah!
Think about it as if you are that part of the community saying this.
We believe.
We believe the old guy found some of his people and defected back to them.
Right, Lee, you get to make the next statement.
That doesn't make sense. If he had defected, he would have taken his items. I think it's more likely that he was abducted. Possibly by the cultists.
Tiff?
Some people are worried less so about the old man disappearing, but what it would mean for one of them. It has like rippled a sense of paranoia among the community.
Okay. Good riddance to bad apples ruining the community. If he's gone, we burn his things, and that's that. And that's the end of the discussion.
Jesus, that shit's dark.
We just do not care about this old man, huh?
I feel so bad.
It's fine.
Even though this old man, he played too.
Lee,
Played
Mike already
knick-knack.
made that joke.
We loved his knick-knack on our shoes.
We burned his knickknacks and his shoes.
All right, so Mike started that discussion, which now means it is Lee's turn.
So they're going to see if they can figure out, now that they have the Gamgee, if they can figure out why the Gamgee grows and see if they can fix our growing problem. That is the project.
Okay. So we're going to add a project of studying the Gamgee. How long do you think this is going to take?
Probably a couple of weeks. Bioengineering is hard. 4 weeks.
All right. So
That gives
now,
times to do like sampling and growing a couple of new batches and changing things and splicing and
Splicing.
splicing.
all right. So now the other project clocks tick down. And you get to start a project, hold a discussion, or discover something new.
We discover that the hogs are particularly averse and will avoid areas with a certain kind of like weed or plant. And that might be useful to us in the future when it
Okay,
comes to.
Go
But
ahead.
we already have a project regarding the hogs, or
Nope.
No.
so
And this
yeah.
this is a discovery, so it's not a project. You just speak this plant into existence.
So yeah, we discover this plant that the hogs don't like, and decide to start propagating that to try and keep them away from our side of the water.
All right.
Huh.
What's the name of this plant?
Hogsweed?
Hogsweed. I like it. I'm gonna say that we have an abundance of hogsweed. How is it? Is it pretty abundant in this area, or is it like they found a patch of it and they have to try to propagate it?
We found a patch and have to propagate it.
Okay, so it is not in abundance at the moment. It is in scarcity.
Yes.
And while you are doing that, we will jump over to Tiff's turn.
Ah,
Summer is fleeting.
Oh.
Discard the top 2 cards off the top of the deck and take 2 actions this week.
Okay.
So you get to double up on making projects, discovering things, or holding discussions, but now we have lost 2 weeks of summer. So the way I'm going to try to do this is that I'm going to draw until I get 2 unique numbers that I have not drawn yet, and those are just going to be counted as already having been drawn.
cool.
Okay. I don't think about my actions.
Think about your actions.
Okay, so that's the Queen of Diamonds gone. And the 8 of Diamonds gone.
That sucks.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's only 4 weeks left of summer, y'all.
Shit.
We might actually
We have
get
to
through
make the
2
most of
seasons
it.
in one session.
That'd be
Oh,
nice.
damn.
Maybe the rest of it, because winter could end at any time.
Yeah,
That's
depending
true.
on how ambitious we feel.
We'll see.
All right, so so there's the hogsweed. I see it now on the map. Thank you, Lee. So Tiff, you now get to take 2 actions. Oh, actually, the project clocks tick down.
Mhm.
So the people, the arcanists and other experts have finished studying the trader's device.
Ooh.
Whose
Okay.
project was that?
Tiff's?
That's mine.
Okay, so what do they discover about this device?
They can have. I was about to say something dumb. They can hover.
They've discovered it's a hover. It's got some way of producing like a hovering effect.
Mhm.
Rad.
Now this is kind of going a bit meta because we're not playing D&D currently.
Yeah.
But is it producing the levitate spell? Is it how I want to know a little bit about how you're imagining this functioning.
I'm thinking of it in a science term where, ooh, wait, no, it could be a little bit more fun than that. Let's say that it's like a levitate spell. No, it's like a fly spell. So it has the same components of fly, but it's using like the machinery is like taking crystal dust, and somehow that's generating enough like energy to make it go up, be able to like navigate currents.
Maybe it's causing some sort of repellent reaction to something in the earth. Like this device
Yeah.
is taking in crystal, basically producing a magnetic effect.
To the crystal, yeah.
So
Okay.
it repels itself from other sources of crystal and creates an effect that, when harnessed properly, can recreate levitation or flight.
Mhm.
Okay, that is
Kind of fun.
bizarre, and I love it. So I'm going to note that down as the device creates teleportation, or not teleportation.
Levitation.
Precipitation? Pontification.
Via magnets, essentially. Fantasy magnets.
Fantasy
That's up.
magnets. How the fuck do they work?
Ding.
Miracles.
Ding.
All right.
Fucking
Kind of a
that's rad as
un-
hell.
Unrelated sidebar. I feel like this game would be so much fun to play with young children. Young children come up with just the craziest shit.
They absolutely do, and this would be amazing with kids.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
Especially if you got like a big like that big like poster paper that you would always have on the massive rolls that you would roll out during like school
Yeah.
projects,
Yeah.
and just put that on the ground, and that's just their whole day is just making this massive map.
That's rad.
Too
Tiff
bad
has
I
two
got
actions.
turned down from that. Yeah. Too bad I got turned down from that library assistant job, or else that would have been my plan.
Oh, that
Oh,
would have been fun.
All right, so Tiff, you get to take 2 actions this turn.
I want to hold a discussion, and I also want to start a project based off of what the discussion is made from it.
Okay.
The discussion is that the paranoia spiking within the community. They're talking about how will we defend ourselves, especially against the cultists. So there have been talk about creating armories and starting to train people for fighting.
Okay, I think that's a good way of starting. Would you like to start the discussion with the question of how will we defend ourselves from threats?
Yes. How will we defend ourselves? Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it.
Okay. Our friend the machinist, or the mechanist, speaks up. The guy who discovered that you could use crystals to form gunpowder?
One who's missing a couple of fingers and most of his eyebrows.
Yep.
Hot dude.
He speaks up and basically says, well, I've got all of these guns, why don't I start training an elite team of musketeers?
I've got a gun.
Alright, Mike?
what's more deadly than someone with a gun? Someone with a gun flying through the air.
God damn it. Lee?
I'm just picturing just jetpacks and guns.
I thought we were gonna
Shit.
throw in pigs. That would have been the funniest like, conclusion of it. Let's arm the pigs with guns and wings.
Porco Rosso.
Fuck yes!
Rosso shit.
So, what is your contribution to the discussion?
Come on.
We need to pick. We need to decide at what age we'll start training people, and how many we will allow.
Okay. Tiff, you get to finish up with a statement, given that you started with a question.
I think the most agile of us all should take to the sky with guns, says an elderly person. With the thought that, like, maybe we should just send out the younger folk and or kids.
Ah, yes, kids
Oh
with
my
guns.
God.
Brilliant,
Kids-
brilliant plan.
No child
Kids
sol-
operating
soldiers.
aircraft with guns.
All right, so now you said you wanted to start a project.
My
name kids
project
next
is
door.
not going. My project's kind of like that, where they're going to start training an elite group of gun shooting flying children.
First game, actually.
I am going to take a point of contention with that
Oh my god.
on
Is it-
principle
Which
of
part of this is taking
Child
away
The
from it? Is it the
children.
flying?
the children.
Yeah,
Can they at
the
least be
child
like
sol-
teenagers
soldiers.
or some shit?
Okay, so how long do you think it's going to take to make this aviation
Aviating
combat
youngsters.
Go grab my
school?
charger. The computer's gonna die. And
Yeah, I think it would take a while. I'll give it the full 6 weeks.
Okay.
As we said, they are young, but they are full of hope. Fine, I'll say young adults, because like kids can be better used for like hunter gathering, shooting guns.
I mean, that's entirely up to you. Is that a decision that you want to make, or is that a decision that you feel is more narratively interesting, or is that you bowing to not wanting to displease anybody?
No, I think it would be more narratively interesting, because I think at some point kids will be brought up again in a more way.
Okay, that's fair. I will take away the note on this that says "for children" in all caps.
For children.
And I'm just going
Kid-friendly
to put
guns.
the project name as Aviation School, because my brain went away from jetpacks and went into Mike and Lee both said Porco Rosso, and now I'm imagining like biplanes and shit.
Oh my
Yeah, that would be
god.
That would be so fun that we just turn into like a mini like.
We've gone like you guys have gone like
Battle.
Magitech steampunk sort of situation going on here, which I am all for.
I love this.
Who's to say it won't all go wrong though?
It will, though.
All right, so it
That's
is
how the game
now
goes.
my turn.
Ah, shit. Only a couple weeks left in summer.
Yep. I have to draw a card that I have not already drawn, which is not many of them. What I'm going to say is that the crows have actually been hard at work, really like foraging, and they've stepped up their game. They've gone from simply being hunter gatherers to actually kind of being something of a militia in this settlement. So some of them have actually gone into like learning with this aviation school, and some of them are like patrolling the wilds, like fighting off the hogs, and some of them have like gone to plunder what they can and actually like strike out against the cultists.
Can we call the aviation school people, could we call them sparrows?
We can get there when we get there. That is Tiff's decision to make.
Oh, that's a whole thing. Sorry, I forgot. That's a project, not to
Me
discover
too.
something new.
So basically, they discover, or they do a bunch of like scavenging all up and down the path between the trader's castle and the settlement. And what they discover are weapons.
Guns. Boats.
No, not guns.
Gunboats.
They discover a surplus of discarded like weapons and armor, like armaments that would have been used in those fights with the Lich King and the skeleton army that were just discarded by whatever warriors were on the battlefield or like fell off as they were falling in battle. And so they've started to arm themselves not with simple spears and basic leather armor, but some of them have started taking up swords and axes, and some of them are wearing heavier armor. So there's now an abundance of armaments.
Is there like a... There's a... is this like a whole like battlefield? Just of discarded weapons and armor?
They do find a battlefield out in the area south of the Trader's Castle.
Jeez, that's fucking spooky.
I mean, there was a big fight there. There was going to be some people who just kind of fell, and as the bodies kind of wasted away, that the armor and stuff was left behind.
I just imagine this blasted land. Jeez.
It's probably not very pretty up there.
Nah.
So Lee, to catch you up, I basically got to either discover an abundance or start a project that would alleviate a scarcity that has gone on for too long. We only have 2 scarcities at the moment, one of which you are solving with a project, the other one has not been around for very long. So they have discovered an abundance of armaments, weapons, armor, stuff left behind from the war against the Lich south of the Trader's Castle.
Okay.
And I say it is the crows who have now become sort of this, not just the foragers who are really good at foraging, these are now like, they consider themselves to be the defenders of Doom Indoor.
There you go.
Did you forget that the settlement was named Doom Indoor?
I didn't.
I think
did.
Mike did.
I did, yeah. Doom Indoor.
Okay, so that was my event card.
Tiffany, you're a frozen and very concerned face. You were going.
The audio was cut out for me, but I think I fixed it.
Okay. I now get to tick down the project clocks.
Just kidding, it did not fix.
A group of crows has been traveling southward, just kind of exploring this coastline. There's this whole like giant island over here that I think Tiff drew.
Mm-hmm.
Floating one?
Yes, they're kind of eyeballing it, kind of like, well, what if we go out there? But what if there's shit out there that we really don't want to mess with? And that's when they notice the colossal statue of the man looking like he is thinking. His posture has changed. He is not fully, like, stood up or anything. It's not anything that dramatic, but rather than being very, like, thinking like this, he's now, like, sitting up almost as if in realization.
Oh my god, I hate it!
Oh, he's had a thought.
Tiff, you were the one who drew that, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna change him a little bit.
Thank you. I don't know what that's going to mean, but that's somebody else's story that they can tell.
Hey, Troy, what the fuck?
I wanted to use the statue. I wanted to do something with it.
The head just going...
Tiff worked so hard on it, I want to make sure that it actually gets utilized.
Yay, thank you.
It is
Alright.
an elder god who has been thinking for so long he turned to stone.
Now he's cooked.
Mike, it is now your turn.
Oh no.
What's the problem?
I know the other things that are left.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Alright, so Mike, you have drawn the 2 of diamonds.
Someone new arrives. Who? Why are they in distress? Or someone leaves the community. Who? And what are they looking for? I think, a young, headstrong, still in training aviator takes a device and goes off in search of the mentor.
Takes the device as in the things that they were figuring out aviation with.
Yeah, just takes an experimental flying device and just goes off.
His name is James P. Cork. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Actually, I was gonna say it was a young woman, but okay.
All right, that's intense. All right. So now the project clocks tick down. The aviation school has 4 weeks left. Studying the Gamgee to figure out why it grows and reverse bioengineering plants that will grow. Has 1 week. And the spelunking has finished.
Oh, great.
What have you found?
So, what they have discovered is that just near the coastline is where this cave like naturally forms out. Like they can actually like enter and exit through this area rather than having to go down through the well.
Cool.
And that old man's hunch was right. There was life down there.
Did it find a way?
I was about to make the joke.
It finds a way.
And they're pupfish.
No, actually.
Fucking Kurotoa.
No. They are rat folk.
I get goblin people and rat people?
It's a
It is-
non-binary
I mean,
stream.
obviously, because of things we
is-
know about Doomendor.
It is a race of subterranean rat folk who now have been. There's some that have been brought up to the surface. They're not fans at first, but they start some rudimentary like relations with the rat folk. You know, trading, figuring out what they know, like how long they've been there, that sort of thing. And I think we can safely say that adds. I don't know if that adds an abundance of anything necessarily.
Abundance of rat folk.
No, because they probably did not have a lot of them coming up. But they do have one rat folk emissary that comes up to the surface and kind of stays with them.
Nice.
They like soup.
Oh, they can fucking jam on some soup.
Was that reference caught or
No.
Despero.
Despero? That was my favorite book as a child.
Gotcha. Okay, so that was
very cute.
Mike. You said that the crow guy went missing, or the aviation school kid.
She went missing, or she went to go looking for the mentor.
All right. I've made a note of that.
Mm-hmm.
So now, Mike, you get to discover something new, start a project, or hold a discussion.
The okay, so if we discover something new, is it something that the whole community knows about, or is it just something we as abstract forces in the world know about?
Let me check the wording, because that's an interesting way of phrasing that.
I'm thinking about something that the aviation kid could like fly over and discover, but wouldn't be able to tell anyone about it.
Did you just sneeze?
It'd be related to the lake, maybe.
I mean, I think that that would not work that way unless the kid from the aviation school came back.
Okay. Then in that case,
He's in so much trouble.
there is I'm trying to think about like what everyone is doing, and it's just like it's very locally kept.
Which is why I was like, let me go do some stuff with the statue, because that's way the fuck out there.
Yeah, I'd like to expand upon that. We're gonna discover something by the statue. I would like to say there's just a ruined, blasted like town, like city, like what was once a large city, sitting behind the philosopher, whatever we're gonna call him.
Like he sat on it?
No, like not like he sat on it, almost like he came upon this ruined, like just it's like stone spires, like it was like really, really tall and shit. I'm actually gonna try and doodle that in after I'm done describing this, but like it was like this massive, crazy big city, very tall, almost skyscrapers of stone and metal, and it had like a wall around it. Wall is sundered, and it's almost as if this statue came upon it and just kind of sat down to think about it. What could have happened here?
Interesting. So a ruined city of some kind.
Yeah, I mean, I can't use my doodle because you guys are here. So I will have to use my moose.
Okay. While you're doodling that, we are going to go on to Lee's turn.
Yay, it's my turn.
1, 2,
What do I
3,
discover?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What cards am I missing? Okay.
Did you count the two that we left? The two that we lost?
Mm-hmm. I'm only looking for 2 numbers. And I'm not drawing either of them.
Just flip a coin and pick one.
I mean, I could do that, or I could keep hitting this button. Alright, I got one of them. Lee, you have drawn the 4 of diamonds.
Yay?
No.
The eldest among you dies. What
Ah!
caused the death? Or the eldest among you is very sick. Caring for them and searching for a cure requires the help of the entire community. Do not reduce project dice this week.
Nah, he's gored by a hog.
Jesus Christ!
Who is the eldest? Who is this person?
Shit.
Do I want to be really mean?
Be as mean as you think the narrative needs.
It is the grandfather and guardian of the girl who took off looking for.
Oh, that's so
Oh my
sad.
Oh
That's a hero backstory, though. She could be important now.
Oh man. So I'm imagining him as like the village elder almost. Like he is one of the ones who was around. He was probably old enough to fight and survive the Lich War.
He's just fucking traumatized. Oh my god.
Is that too mean?
No, that's
No,
good.
no,
Keep
that's
it.
I'm trying to think of like what would be narratively interesting. And I feel like that's the sort of like twist right at the end of the summer that like, oh no, it's getting colder and now we've lost this bastion of wisdom and yeah.
Okay,
I
I fucking love it. All right, you get to, let's see, project clocks tick down because he did not survive. The studying the Gamgee, they have discovered. What have we discovered about the soil and what can be done about the Gamgee, or with the help of the Gamgee, Lee?
Gamgee.
I didn't get this far. It's actually really simple. The Gamgees basically act the way that legumes act in the real world, where they kind of clear out the soil of nitrogen and everything. And so in order to propagate things, you just need to plant a bunch of the Gamgee and then plant things over that after they come up, because it will take whatever the problem is out of the soil. And they might not be smart enough to know what the problem is, but it is purifying the soil, almost like the plants in the forest in
My
Nausicaa.
god, with the Nausicaa shit.
So I'm gonna say that removes our scarcity of crops in this land, and yeah, I like it.
And that is based in science, so.
Oh no, I fucking love it, and I'm going to make a note that there is a subset of people who now start to revere the Gamgee as a symbol of purity and like revivification of the land.
I like that.
And I think you may have just given me the holy symbol for the deity of nature in the Commonwealth's pantheon.
It's a potato.
I'm going to start a discussion, which will
Okay.
probably later lead into a project. It is almost, winter is come. I can't say that. The seasons are changing, and we just lost our elder. There are all these new groups. We need a central government if we're staying here.
Need to make more old people.
Hopefully this will make more old people.
Okay, so you're starting a discussion with the statement of seasons are changing and we've just lost our one of our oldest and wisest. With all of these new groups, we need to form a government.
We've got the goblins, we've got the rodent people. We need to figure out how we're all going to coexist going into the winter, because things tend to hit the fan in the winter.
All right, Tiff, what is your contribution to this statement?
Government seems necessary at this point, but how would we decide it? Some people start squabbling over the idea of trying to change what I assume was an oligarchy. It may have been an oligarchy.
It was. I assume that that's not a. That's actually not.
We
We're
can't
in the
talk
middle of
about
the
it.
discussion. Yeah.
Can't talk about it. So people are arguing how do we choose the most important people to lead us, and it's that kind of vibe.
It's like where do we begin? What form?
Representative democracy. Who
So-
was the representative?
So that's your turn.
Yeah, it is my turn. So, the rat folk speak up and say that they have always had a single village elder. Why not just pick the next oldest in line and make them in charge? Mike, your turn for a statement.
Our three groups, goblins, the refugees, and the rat folk, found each other and helped each other in this quiet year that we've had so far. We should continue to do so and strengthen those bonds.
Okay, and that ends that discussion. And that now makes it the last week of summer. Tiff,
Nice.
you get the last card that has not been drawn, which is the Ace of Diamonds.
Ew, I wonder what that is.
A contingent within the community demand to be heard. Who are they? What are they asking for? Or, a contingent within the community have acted on their frustrations. What have they damaged, and why did they damage it? Is it permanent?
See, I want to go with the first one because I kind of want someone from the cultists to approach the community and say, we are trying to survive just as much as you lot are. Why hoard everything when we're suffering just as much? And they want a voice in this democracy as well.
Oh. Okay, I like that as that discussion, or as that,
As this, like, little hiccup.
yes, as
Like,
this
so
contingent within the
actively-
community.
Don't think it's the full cultist, but it is a few individual people having come as representatives of a sort. So, what does the community do?
Okay, that's interesting.
You don't get a vote. You don't get a vote.
Alright, so, tick down, there are 2 weeks left on the aviation school. And Tiff, you get to start a project, hold a discussion, or,
Sorry,
discover
Carrie
something
just
new.
jumped on my wire.
Oh, I'm gonna hold a discussion. I'm
Oh,
gonna
of
hold a
course.
discussion. Should we aid these cultists who are clearly suffering but kind of suck?
One of those people who I mentioned have started kind of like revering the Gamgees, or the Gamgee rather, because it's Gamgee plural.
Throws a potato at him.
No, they say that just as the Gamgee can purify our soil, with work, these two can be purified. If you are willing to change, you are welcome. Mike, you get a statement now.
You revere and venerate the person that is responsible for all of this. Fuck you!
Lee?
It kind of smells of entitlement that you come to us saying you need a spot on our council because we aren't helping you when you have done nothing to prove to us that we can trust you. You need to do that first and foremost, and then maybe we will think about allowing you to be purified.
All right, Tiff, you get to finish up with a statement. Because you started with a question.
You speak like entitlement, like your lot hasn't lived entitled your whole life.
We're literally fucking refugees!
I'm trying to
Okay,
take
this
the
is
chance of
getting-
a fucking like boomer. Yeah.
This is getting
Like our whole entire
spicy.
culture before. You'll rue the day, and then I don't know what we'll do. Maybe
You'll rue the day.
I'll rue the day. They're very villainous, I guess. Yeah.
do they run away like Skeletor and punch themselves out of a mirror?
Like a plume of black smoke appear around them, and they try to disappear like Team Rocket. No.
Or you just see them running
I
away.
think they'll say, yeah. Let's just go with that. You've made it clear that we're not welcome, so we'll
We
draw
gave
our
you-
lines here.
2 of us said that if you change, you are welcome.
Many middle fingers to this cult of the traitor.
That guy.
All
Like you, Tiffany, are channeling. You know what kind of people you're channeling.
I know what kind of people I'm channeling. I'm taking this ire and I'm reveling in it.
You know, I want to I was kind of lacking for a vilifying group in this setting. You might have just created it.
I mean, I had the Sneeple, who represented Republicans, so I mean, like, you know, we could just... I'm just gonna start this whole thing over. This is terrible.
So, thank you so much for being here. If you are watching this, please leave us a like or comment on your predictions for the next episode. Thank you for being here for Dicey Decisions Perennity. We have 2 more episodes coming out of this, and then we are potentially going to be getting back to some spicy stuff, so I hope you are sticking around for that. To hear more about what we've got going on, follow us on Twitter at Dicey Decisions, or my own personal Twitter at TheRealKinesis. If you are listening to this on iTunes or Apple Podcasts, as it is nowadays, please leave us a review. Same thing with Spotify or any other podcast platform that you are watching us or listening to us on. Yeah. So, please share some love and tell a story. Good night.